Hello friends, welcome to our channel Google Galaxy. The substances which are known as reactant are converted into new substance called as product. If a piece of wood is on burn, it will change into a piece of coal. This is how we can write the equation. This piece of wood is acting as a reactant. These reactants are converted into new substance we called as product. In the laboratory, in the science laboratory, we are having the different types of chemicals that we need to deal with the different types of chemical. When we react two or more chemicals with each other, a new substance is formed. We called that substance as product, and the reactant substance will act as reactant, and it will change into to form product. When the chemical reaction takes place, we need some symbols. For example, if a person having the name Akash, we will write Akash as A. So A will denote as symbol for Akash. We need symbols for writing the chemical reaction, that what will happen in the conical flask. That what will happen in this test. That what is happening in this test tube. We need symbol. We need formulae. Of the substances, we need symbols, formulae of the substances involved. By writing these, we called as a chemical reaction. Let's take an example to understand the meaning of chemical equation closely. If teachers say you that the zinc metal react with sulfuric acid to form zinc sulphate and hydrogen gas, it becomes so lengthy. So this whole reaction can be written as in words of equation. So how we can write that the zinc metal, this one is a symbol. This one is the way of writing the complete sentence in the form of equation. The zinc metal react with the sulfuric acid. To form zinc sulphate plus hydrogen. It will produce zinc sulphate and hydrogen gas. So now how we can write the formula for zinc sulphate? We must go for crisscross method. What does crisscross method say? That the zinc is having +2 sign, sulphate is having the -2 sign. This +2 will go to this side, this +2 will go to this side, and overall it forms Zn2SO4 whole twice. The 2 will cancel out. The formula for zinc sulphate is ZnSO4. This one is the formula for zinc sulphate. So the formula for hydrogen gas is H2. This whole part we called as product, and the reactant side we are having the Zn plus H2SO4. Instead of writing the whole lengthy complete sentence, we write this reaction in the form of equation, and the overall equation we called as a chemical equation. So what we will do? We just write the symbol and formulae of all the substances in the form of equation, and we get the following chemical equation. These substances which combine to form product, we call these substances as reactant. Here zinc and sulphate are reactant here, and the plus sign between tells that both of these substances will react with each other. That we are having the flask, we are having the H2SO4 in it. We just put few granules, few pieces of zinc. We have just dropped few pieces of zinc over here. When these two H2SO4 and the zinc pieces will react with each other, a precipitate will form. We call this one as zinc sulfate, and the hydrogen gas will evolve, and the hydrogen gas will evolve it. Hydrogen gas will evolve. This arrow sign indicate that the reactant is converted into the product. We also call this method as shorthand method of representing the chemical reaction. A chemical equation has a number of atoms on product side as well as reactant side. Product side as well as reactant side. So we need to balance these atoms. We have to just count the number of atoms. So let us count the number of atoms of all elements in reactant and product separately. So number of zinc atoms, we are having the 1. So we called as number of zinc atoms will be equal to, in the reactant side zinc is 1, hydrogen is having 2, 1 is already present, 1 multiplied by 2 we called as 2. Similarly 1 multiplied by as sulfur, so sulfur is 1, sulfur atom on the reactant side is 1. So number of oxygen atom, we are having 1 multiplied by 4, we are having the 4. On the product side we are having the 1, zinc is equals to 1, sulfur is equals to 1, oxygen is equals to 4, hydrogen is equals to 1 multiplied by 2, 2. So overall we find that the reactant contain 1 zinc atom and the product also contain 1 zinc atom. Reactant contain 2 hydrogen atom, product contains 2. Similarly reactant of sulfur is 1 and the product is also 1. And finally the reactant contains 4 oxygen atom and the product is also contain the 4 oxygen atoms. So there are equal number of atoms on the different elements in the reactant as well as product side. So we called above equation as balanced equation. We called as balanced equation. When we say balanced equation, when the number of atoms of both product and the reactant side are equal, we called that equation as balanced equation. If the number of atoms are different, we called as unbalanced.